Shalom, Shalom, Israel. Back again with a little conversation today. The conversation will be named A Timely Conversation with Israel. A timely conversation with the family. How y'all doing, family? I hope all is well. All praise and honor to the Father and the Son for allowing us to come together for a moment, allowing us to get His word out to His people. Just a blessing to be here, giving all the honor, all the praise, and all the glory to our Father and the Son. You know, without them, we ain't nobody. But family, I'm just here today. Not gonna hold y'all real long at all. But this conversation need to be told. Like the Father says in the book, everything have a time. Everything have a time. Sleep is a time. Woke is a time. Thinking, you have to have time for it. Doing things, you have to have time to do it, like work, play, relaxation, crime, death, life. Everything have a time. So let's not waste time on things that don't need to be discussed or talked about. I've been sitting back watching Israel for a little while now. Israel, a few things before we get in this conversation that they worry about too much. Israel worry about these things the most and need to stop worrying about. Need to worry about your salvation, getting the everlasting life, doing your best, repent and move on with the things that was of the past. Leave your past life behind you. The Father said, let him, he hate, but he told us not to hate. He told us to let him seek vengeance, not us seek vengeance. See, right now, Israel letting this world get into them. Everybody hate Esau. Everybody want to say Esau this, Esau that. Why is we worrying about people that right now the Father got in rulership? Why? We need to get our stuff together for to be ready to be great rulers. Because we see that how Esau have done it wrong. See, Israel worry too much about these things. Esau worry too much about them. Talk about them too much. The things they have done, nothing gonna change it. It was already written to be like that. It was already written to be like that. So we cannot change them things. Outer appearance. Our people worry too much about how they look. Our people worry way too much about how they look. We all know we gotta take care of our temple. We gotta take care of the body. We all know that. We know we gotta exercise and things like that. But see, our people worrying too much about everything that don't matter. It's just like even, worrying about what a person think of you. I want to worry about what the Father and Son think of me, not no man. No man at all. Because man can only lead you to hell. When I say man, I mean man and woman. They only can lead you to that fire. And that fire that you don't want. Let the fire of this book consume you. The holy scriptures consume you. Let this word consume you. And let that word be that fire, be that heat that you give off to your people. Let this fire give off that spirit of kindness, meek, joy, love. Let this word do that. Let the word do that. While we busy debating and going at each other, as the book said, what did the book say? The book said, iron sharpen iron. So if you're not allowing your brethren or your sister Your family, period. To do what for you? To do what? See, a lot of our people don't understand. You got to be like-minded. Like-minded. You know, we'll read this verse real quick because it's real neat to get this understanding. Proverbs 27 and verse 17. It said, iron sharpen iron. So a man sharpen the conscience of who? His friend. The conscience, that's the inner man. See, our people so busy doing with this outer appearance. See, outer appearance is gonna be why a lot of our folks hit that lake. Gonna hit that Wi-Fi box. Gonna hit that hot box. Gonna hit that brimstone and fire. You won't be saying no hearts of fire. You won't be saying no hearts of fire while you in them brimstone burning for eternal, that second death. We need to take heed to this Proverbs 27 and 17. As the scriptures say one more time, iron sharpened iron. If you ain't dealing with like-minded people that walking this walk, doing this walk, like you should be walking this walk, doing this walk, how is you going to be sharp? Because you're not doing the will, you're not doing the work, you're not living by it. You got to live by this word. Yes, it is hard at times. You got to humble yourself daily when you're doing this walk. Not sometimes, but all the time. And let's read the rest. So a man sharpened the conscience of his friend. Of his friend. Israel, we got to get better at that situation. All our lives depend on one another. Because the Father said He coming for a remedy. The Father said He coming for those who love Him. And as He told us, the greatest two commandments. You know, and I'm not knocking people for talking about the 10, the 613, but the Father says two, even one. And He said it. In his word, He said it. Not me. He said it. You know, and see, our people, you know, they have a problem going back and forth with one another when the Father tells them something. But when man tells them something, they have no problem at all. They have no problem. They don't go back and forth with each other. None of that. But we're going to read that. We're going to Matthew 22. We're going to read that real quick, Israel, if y'all don't mind. Because this is a conversation. It's not a lesson. It's really just a little conversation we want to have with you, Israel. No, it should have been out early, but the Father do everything when He want to do it, not when man want to do it, not when I want to do it, but when He want to do it. So, we're going to read about it real quick, Israel. Because, see, a lot of our people, they not going to make it because of this situation right here. So, let's read. Greatest two commandments. Matthew 22 verses 37. And I'm going to start at 37. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 36 actually. Master, which is the greatest commandment in the law? They ask commandment in the law. Let's read. Yeshua said unto him, thou shalt love what? The Lord thy Yah with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. He kept saying that. Matter of fact, let's go another place just with this verse. Let's go to Psalms 138. Cause there'll be something I'll be bringing out shortly too also, fam. But right now, let's go to it and let's read the first verse. Psalms 138 and verse 1. That's the only verse we're going to read right now. Only verse we shall read right now. I will praise thee with my whole heart. I will praise thee with my whole heart. before what? The gods. Would I sing praises unto thee? But let me keep reading, because I want to read another verse. I will worship toward thy holy temple. I will praise thy name of thy loveliness kindness and for thy truth. For thou hast magnified thy word above all thy name. Magnifying above all names. So don't nobody care nothing about no pastor, no elder, no deacon, none of that. His name is magnified above all names. See, our people, my people, y'all must understand the Father come before anything. We're going to talk about this in this conversation. But let's go back to Matthew and let's keep reading. Verse 38. Matthew 22 and we in verse 38. This is the first and great commandment. This is the first one. And let's get to the next one. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbors as thyself. How many people doing that right now? How many people is actually doing that? How many? You know, we know that's a hard. We all struggle with that. But guess what? We got to do that. We got to live by that. We got to do it because that's what the book say. Not what no man say. It's what the book say. And see, no, our people have a hard problem doing what the book say do. That they have a hard problem doing that. But they have no hard problem doing what man say do. You know, I see this all the time with our people. You know, they don't have no problem when it comes to that. And so, let's go to what he said in Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 13. And he said this. So he took both of the greatest two commandments and he combined them together. And this is what he said in Ecclesiastes. He said, if you keep this commandment, just this one, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yah and keep his commandment, for this is the whole duty of man. But let's keep going. Let me go to my book for this one, because I'm reading it on my phone, but nothing like the book, you know, because the one thing about this book, you ain't no straying away from the book. The book gonna give it to you like you need it. And, you know, and as he said that in verse 14, he went on saying, for y'all shall bring every work into judgment. Every work, just like when you go to work and clock in, they look at that, time, they look at your work, see if you earn that. You earn a decent pay. It's like you can go to college with your little credits and stuff like that. See if you earn that grade. Which every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil, all gonna come to the light. You gonna get your worth, your labor. You gonna get what it's worth, good or evil. You gonna get it. So Israel, we got to do better. We got to be better. We got to do better. We got to do what this book say. We got to love our brethren. We got to love our people. Period. We got to love the Father and the Son. Fear them first. keep their commandments, and love your brother like you love yourself. See, they're gonna keep a lot of our people out the kingdom. Just that part right there. Because our people can't get past the jealousy, the envy of their own people. But they want to be ruler over many. How you gonna be ruler over anybody if you can't get yourself together? Get your mind right, Israel. Get your mind on this book and off the world. I leave you with that. Now, let's get into this conversation. Who do you serve, Israel? Because we know what Paul said. You know what Paul said in Galatians? Matter of fact, let's read that first before we even get into this conversation. Let's go to Galatians chapter 1. You know, because Paul said some real stuff. But what did he say? And let's get it. Galatians chapter 1. And I will start in verse 9. As we said before, so say now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you, then that ye have received, let him be accursed. So if these people get around here teaching their own doctrine, I'm talking about the camps, the pastors, some of these teachers, the elders, you know, they get the bishops, they get around here teaching their own doctrine. The Father said, you're going to be cursed. I'm going to curse you. But let's keep reading. For do now I pursue man? Paul said, do I pursue man? Huh? Do I pursue man? Or Yah? So Israel, that's my question. Who do you pursue? But we're going to get into it. Or do I seek to please? See, you got a lot of damn man pleasers around him. That's another thing you got to kill. Man pleasing. That man please stuff, kill it. Do away with it. Because if you don't do away with it, it's going to do away with you. But let's get it. Or do you seek to please man? For if I yet please man, whoa, for if I yet please man, I should not be the servant of Yeshua. Do you hear that? I ain't worthy to worship him and serve him if I'm praising man, serving man. Israel, y'all got to take a good deep look at that situation. Because a lot of our people, they some man pleasers. They some elder pleasers. They some bishop pleasers. They some teacher pleasers. They some pastor pleasers. They ain't pleasing the Father. Like the Father said, he said it clearly in John 12:43. The people, our people, my people love to praise man instead of Yah. He said it in his words. The book don't lie. We see it constantly over and over and over and over again. But now let's get into the lesson. Which, once again, is really not a lesson. It's just really a conversation. So, we're going to get to it. Let's go to Joshua chapter 24. Back to it again. Who do you serve, Israel? Who do you serve? Let's read. Chapter 24, Joshua chapter 24, verses 14 through 16. Now therefore fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity. I probably said that wrong, but I know y'all know it, Israel. Sorry about that. And in truth, and put away the gods which ye fathers served on the other side of the flood. See, our people could never stop serving the other gods. Even when he split the sea and brought them through from Egypt, they could not stop serving them other gods. But let's keep reading. On the other side of the flood. And in Egypt, and serve, yea, the Father. Let's keep reading. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Father, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served, that what were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Most High. That's how I go here, and I hope it goes like that in your house. But let's keep going. And the people answered and said, Yah forbid that we should forsake the Most High to serve other gods. See why folks can't get that right now? Because see, that's what our folks doing right now. You know, my brother King Marcus G, when he brought out that lesson about the star, or so-called David, which is not, our people wear that all day outside. Our brothers, our people be outside with that star on. You know, and the Father told us in Exodus, he told us, don't be idolizing nothing. Don't idolize nothing. But matter of fact, I'm going to read it. Because one thing about it, I don't like, I don't like saying my opinion, thought. Let the book talk about it. So let's go to Exodus chapter 20. Let the book talk, because I don't like talking my own opinion. My own opinion don't mean nothing. So let's go to verse 4. And it said then, matter of fact, let's go to Exodus. And let's just read a few of these. Matter of fact, just let me start at 2 and I'm going to read through 4. Yes, read through 4. I am the Most High Thy Yah, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. What did he just say? And what? What did he just say? What did he just say? He just said that. But see, our people, they don't believe that. But let's keep going. Thou shalt not make unto thee any grieving image. So what at the start? It's a grieving image. But let's keep going. Or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath. Can I say that one more time, Israel? Any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. He told us, don't do that. Don't do it. But our people, do they listen to that? No, they don't. No, they don't. So even he told our people in Deuteronomy, he told them they will be serving wood and stone. Wood and stone. Our people still do that to this day. They serve wood and stone. Even the fathers, they fathers don't know nothing about it. But that's what our folks do. Stop being an idolizer. Stop serving these things that is not of the Father. He just told you don't worship nothing. Don't give praise to nothing but him. But Israel, let's move on. Okay. Israel, let's not labor. Let's not labor in vain in the Most High name. Let's not labor in vain in the Most High Yah Yeshua name. We're not going to do that. So if we bringing this word out, you best to be living it. You best to be living it. Don't just be bringing his word out and not living it. That's not cool. But we're gonna read about that. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15. 1 Corinthians chapter 15. So we'll let the book talk about it. And we're gonna go to verse 58. 58. Therefore, my beloved brother, be ye stand fast, unmovable, always abounded in the works of the Most High. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain, is not in vain in who? The Most High. So when you out here doing this work, I'm talking about the brothers on the highways and byways. I'm talking about the brothers doing right now what I'm doing lessons. I'm talking about the brothers that in the building, bringing out the word. Whatever you doing, don't do this work for show. Don't do this work in vain. Do this work because that's what the Father got you doing. Labor for the Father. And by when I say labor for, not just do this work because you trying to get in the kingdom, but do this work because it's right. And that's what the Father wants you to do. Love your brother as you love yourself. That means that you don't want your brother to hit that lake. You don't want your people to hit that lake. So guess what? You teach them. You bring out this word to them. You give them something to read. You plant the seed, they got the water. That's the only way it will grow, Israel. But with that said, let's move on. But just remember, Israel, don't do no work in vain. Let's go to the next one. Why are so many of our people trying to serve two masters? I should say that again. Why are people trying to serve two masters? Let's talk about this, Israel. Let's move on to Matthew 6 and 24. 6 and 24. Which I'll probably read a little bit more, but we're going to read this first. All right. Let's get it. No man can serve two masters, but either he will hate the one and love the other one, or less he will hold to one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Yah and Mammon. See, because we got a lot of people right now, and I'm talking about the truth, the people in the truth. What is Mammon? Man. It don't matter if you teaching a Sunday doctrine, which you know that ain't right, or you teaching a doctrine that you think is of the Father in the book, but you tweaking it a little bit. It's still a lie. The Father said, let every man be a liar, but I cannot lie. That means that this book don't lie. Everything will come to pass in this book. He told us. Matter of fact, let's read that. Let's read that. Let's read that. Let's go to 1 John chapter 2. But we're going to read something a little different. Okay. Let's read it. Verse 17. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 17. What did he say? And the world passes away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of Yah abide forever. He told us, you do the will, you abide forever. His word will not pass. His word will be here when we long for gone. As you see, we got a lot of family members gone from here. But if this word still here, I think it is. I think the word's still here. You know, our loved one's gone, but guess what? The word's still here. The word ain't gone nowhere. So remember that. Y'all hear these pastors say the law done away with and all that stuff. Just look at them and give them the book. Tell them what the book say. And if they don't believe what the book say, hey, y'all perfectly fine. Y'all go on by your business, leave that hypocrite alone. You know what I'm saying? And see, you know, And I want to read another one. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 31. So let's read this real quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 31. And they that use this world as not abuse it. For the fashion of this world passes away. And see how he said that this world gonna pass away, but that book, the book ain't going nowhere. So Israel, you better understand this word that the Father, his Son is the word. The Son is the word. The word came with him, he is the word. That what the book say. Ain't that what the book say? But let's go to it though. I really go to it. I think that's John chapter 1. You know, I just want to have this conversation with y'all. I think it's one of these conversations we need to have. You know, let's go to it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with who? Yah. And the Word was Yah. So what the Son is? Is God. Word with him. In the beginning. In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was Yah. And the Word was Yah. The same was in the beginning with Yah. See, our people better believe that the Son is a God. And he is that Word that came down from the heavens. Sit on the right hand side of the Father Almighty. Our people better get some understanding. But let's get back. Let's get back to it. Let's go to James 4 and 4. James 4 and 4. Let's get to that deal real, because that was going to make the point right there. So let's get to it. Because it's for all the man-loving, pleasing people. So let's read this and get understanding, Israel. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is intimate with Yah? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy of Yah. What do you say? An enemy of Yah. He didn't make no mistake in who he talking to, folks. Who he talking to, my people? He talking to Israel. He talking to Israel. He telling you, you're a friend of this world, you're an enemy to me. Father ain't playing. You know, everybody want to talk about these other nations, but no, he talking to one. He talking to Israel, his people. So if you friend with this world, you enemy to him. Ain't no in between. You don't see no in between with that right there. You did. You better get this book. You better get this up in you. You better get this book and live it. Put it up in you like you put food, put clothes on. Wear it for the right cause. Live it for the right cause. But let's keep going, Israel. Let's keep going. Who should you seek first about all things in your life, Israel? Let's talk about that. Matthew chapter 6. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33, Israel. When I get there, I will start reading. All right, let's get it. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yah and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Let's keep reading. Take therefore no thoughts for tomorrow shall take thoughts for the things of itself. Suffice unto the day is the evil thereof. See, that's why the Father said don't put things off. Seek him first, not no man. So you can plan stuff in your planner, in your phone, all that mess. Don't matter. He said seek him first. That means everything you do, you seek him. But let's keep going with the situation at hand. Let's go to Jeremiah 29. Jeremiah chapter 29. And we will read verse 13. get there, I'm going to get to it, Israel. All right. And ye shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all what? Your heart. You heard it again. You heard it in the beginning. So when you seeking the Father, you got to search him with all your heart. That's why you go to him first, not no man. To the Father and Son first, not no man. But let's keep going. Let's go to 1 Chronicles 16 and 13. 1 Chronicles chapter 16. All right, Israel. So now let this be the conclusion of this. Seek the Most High and his strength. Seek his face continually. That means forever. We seek him forever. We seek him for all the things that we need. All the things we need to know. We seek him first. All the things that we make decisions on, we seek them first. Not with our own little mind. Our mind foolish. Our mind don't know nothing. That's why you got to seek the Father and the Son. But let's keep moving, Israel. Israel, which one are you doing in your life right now? And when I read it, you know, y'all put it down in the chat box which one you're doing. You know. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 30. Deuteronomy chapter 30. Let's get it. Let's get it. Okay, we're going to read verses 14 through 19. Well, actually, we're going to read verses, let me make sure, 14 through 17, then we're going to drop down to 19. That's what we'll do. Let's get it. But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth, and in thy heart, that thou mightest do it. Do it. That's why he say now, the word close to you is in you, in the inner part, in your mouth. The mouth what? In the inner side of your what? Your face. Let's keep going. Your heart is the inside of your head, which is what? Your mind. Let's keep going. See, I have set before thee this day life and good. Is you doing life and good? That means, you know, this the book. The book is life. Let's keep reading. And death and evil. So, y'all, Israel, be mindful. Don't be serving death, which is evil. Be serving good, which is life, which is this book. Called the Son is what? Life. He is the light that shineth in every man that came into this world. But let's keep going. In that I command thee this day to love who? The Most High. Thy Yah, to walk in his ways and keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mightest live and multiply. And the Most High thy Yah shall bless thee in the land whether thou goes to possess it. I mean, wherever you go to possess it, he gonna bless you. As long as you keep him law, statutes, and commandment, doing what the book say, keeping his covenant. He gonna bless you. But let's keep going. But if thine heart, see, there we go right here. But see, did what happened. This is what Israel did then. That's what they doing now. This is what Israel doing right now. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them. See, that's what our people doing right now. They wish them other God. They drawn away from the book. They drawn away from it. They not doing what the book say. Pharisees and Sadducees did, and they started all back over once again. Drop down to 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you. See, the Father had recorded this day against us. Let's keep reading. That I have set before you life and death. Life and death. Let's keep reading. Blessings and curses. Blessings and curses. Therefore, choose life. Choose the book. Choose the word. Choose what the Father has set out for us to do, these laws, statutes, and commandments, and treat our brother like we treat ourselves. Fear him and keep his commandments. Let's keep going. Therefore, choose life, that both thou seeds may live. So, it's up to you, Israel, what you want to choose. Do you want to choose life, which is good, or death, which is evil? Make it light on yourself. Choose life or death. Make it easy on yourself. Which one you gonna choose? Because if you're living by this book, doing what this book doing, you have chose life, which is light. But if you're not, you have chose darkness, which is evil, which is death, which is usurping Satan. But let's keep going. Israel, how many of our people do this? Doing this. How many of our people doing this? Let's go to Psalm 63 and 1. Psalm 63 and 1. 63 and 1. I'll be with you shortly, Israel. Okay. There we go. O Yah, thou art my Yah. Early will I seek thee. My soul thirsts for thee. My flesh longeth for thee. In a dry and thirsty land where no water is. What is the Father talking about right now? Huh? Is you thirsty for him? Is you seeking him? Huh? This body is made up of what? Dirt. That's what he is saying. Let me read that one more time because I want you to get an understanding when you hear this. One more time. O Yah, thou art mine, Yah. Early will I seek thee. Early I seek thee. My soul thirsts for thee. This book. My flesh longeth for thee. My flesh longeth for thee. This book. In a dry and thirsty land where no water is. Family, this is the water. This the water. It's the water. Thirst. It's right here. This what? It's the dry what? Land. If you don't put this to water that dry land for it can grow and nurture. If you don't put this in there to grow, for it can nurture, for you can get wisdom and understanding from above, what you doing is, bro, you playing games. And you know what the Father gonna do to you. You wanna play games? He got something for you. No, I think it just was a needed conversation to have. Because, see, we got a lot of fakery going on right here. Whole heave of it. So, let me read more about that. Let's go to Psalms 42. The books of Psalm 42, and we read verse 2. Let's read verse 2. Let's get it, Israel. My soul thirsts. So what's the soul? That's the inner man, that body. For Yah, for the living Yah, when shall I come, appear before Yah? You better get this book and So when he appeared, when he cracked that firmament up there, and you ain't got enough of this book, living by the book, doing this book, if you ain't doing those things, you might not want to see y'all, because he not coming to be patting you on your back, high five and none of that. He coming to destroy you. In which he is not going to be playing at all. See, because our people think this is a game. I hear a lot of people say, I can't wait till that day come. The Father said, I'm a great and terrible God. So that day, you ain't going to even want to be around to see that day. That day going to be vicious. A lot of bloodshed, all up to the horse and bridle. So what they're telling you, you're not going to want to be around playing games. But let's read one more to go with it. Let's go to Romans chapter 9, verse 26. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Yea, are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living Yah. Living Yah. So you better get this book in you. You better live by this book, follow the law, statutes, and commandments, but you can be the children of the Heavenly Father and the Heavenly Son. Israel, this is not a game. This coming very, very soon, and happening already. Happening now as we speaking, as we having this conversation. But let's keep moving along. Israel, it is time to get this point. It's time to get at this point in your life, Israel. It's time to get in this point. It's no longer to be playing around. It's time to get to this point in your life right now. You living with the breath of the Father and Son that He inhaled in you to breathe. You need to get to this point. Let's get to Psalms 9. Psalms chapter 9. Psalms 9 and verse 10. And they that know thy name would put their trust in thee. For thou, the Most High, has not forsaken them that seek thee. See, once again, if you ain't seeking the Father, if you ain't seeking the Father this time in your life, you don't know the Father and the Son this time in your life, you playing around. Especially if you're in the truth, you playing around. If you talking about you discombobulated, confused, and all that, and you say you know the Father, you keeping His word, something ain't right with that picture. That means that you're not taking the time to get in this book, to walk these laws, statutes, and commandments, to live and be about it. Not just talk about it, be about it. Israel, get your mind right. Get your mind right. It's a young guy work with me called Mr. Davis. And he said in a minute, get your mind right. So Israel, get your mind right. So our people better start getting this right. I'm going to read it one more time. Let me read it one more time. Verse 10, Psalm 9. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. Put your trust in the Father and the Son, not no man. For thou, the Most High, has not forsaken them that seek Him. He have not forsaken you. Like I said, He don't come on your time. He come on His time. He know when the time is right to come. He hear your cries when you walk in these laws, statutes, and commandments, doing them right, living them right, doing your people right by. He hear you and He come to your aid. Did He come to David's aid? When David, did He come to Paul, John? Did He come to all their aid? Everybody aid that doing this book right, He came to them. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. To us, as today, He come to us when we do this book the right way. Not like the way we want to do it, when we do it His way, the right way. Not the wrong way, but the right way. But let's keep going, Israel. All right. Yeshua said this in Matthew 12. And we're going to go to Matthew 12 and we're going to read 46 to 50. Is this your family? Is this your family? See, you know, family is the first thing to lead. That's why Yeshua said what he said in this right here in Matthew chapter 12. See, we got to understand this earthly family we got. Think about it. Is they your family? Because we're going to read this. You know, I let you make the decision on that. But my decision I already made. I roll and rock with the Father. The Father and the Son. So, you know, what he say, that's what I go by. Matthew chapter 12. And let's get to it, Israel. We're going to go 12, 46 through 50. Let's get it. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brother stood without desiring to speak with him. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without desire to speaking with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother and who is my brother? Woo! This is what he said. Let's keep reading. And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in where? Heaven. The third heaven. The same is my brother and sister and mother. The same as my what? My brother, my sister, and my mother. Because his Father, our Father, where is in heaven. So family, that's your family. That's your family. The ones do what verse 57. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and my sister and mother. That's your family. But let's keep reading. Let's go to something. Let's go to Mark chapter 3 and 35. Mark chapter 3 and 35. Excuse me, Israel. All right. We're going to start up a little bit from that. Let's see where I want to start at. Okay, let's start at verse 31. Verse 31, and we're going to go to throughout 35. Mark chapter 3, verse 31 through 35. There came then his brother and his mother, and standing without, sent unto him, calling him. And the multitude sat about him. And they said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren who seeketh for thee. And he answered them, saying, who is my mother or my brethren? And he looked around about on them which sat about him, and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. Verse 35. For whosoever shall do the will of Yah, the same is my brother and my sister and my mother. That means that you got to do this will. You got to walk this walk. You got to live this book. Sure made it plain. But let's read one more to make it more plainer. Let's go to Luke chapter 8. Luke chapter 8. Luke chapter 8. We almost finished with the conversation, Israel, so have patience. 8 and 21. Well, we're going to start up a little bit from that too. So, you know. Well, let's start at verse 19, Israel. If you don't mind, we're going to start at that one. We're going to start at that one. That's what we're going to start at. Yep, that's what we will start at. We're going to start 19 through 21. 19 through 21. Let's get it. Then came to him his mother and his brother, and could not come at him for the press. And it was told him be certain with which said, thy mother and thy brother stand without desire to seek thee. And he answered and said unto them, my mother and my brethren are these which hear the words of Yah. He said again, right? But check out, I like he put emphasis on this right here. He said, hear. What he say? My brother are these which hear the words of Yah and do it. You gotta put some action with it. You gotta do them. You gotta live by them. See, he went on and shut it down then. He just went on, let you know that's your family, the one that doing this walk, doing the will, living these commandments, being by the commandments. That's your family. Not the ones be pretending, the ones that actually living by this word. When nobody around, still doing what the book say do. Not just only doing what the book say do when people around, they can see you. The Father judge you more when you're away from people and you still doing this walk and living this walk. May it become part of your life, Israel. But let's move on, Israel, because we getting there. The next one. Who and what is blessed, Israel? Let's read about that real quick, Israel, if y'all don't mind. Let's go to Revelation 22 and 14. Revelation 22 and 14. All the way at the end of the book. And we're going to work our way back up. Let's get it. Blessed are they that do his what? Commandments. Are you doing his commandments? You're blessed. I hear people always saying highly favored, blessed. Always saying, people always saying blessed. Make sure when you say blessed, make sure you say them to your family members that really doing their law, statutes, and commandments, really living this book. But let's keep going. That they may have right to the tree of life, which is the Son. Let's keep going. And may enter in through the gates into the city. Make sure. That's why we got to really get on top of this right now, Israel. We can't wait to get on top of this. Let's ease to Revelation 14 and 12. 14 and 12. Here's the patience. About to find out a little something else, Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that kept the commandments of Yah and the faith of Yeshua. Got to keep it. Israel, you got to do that part. But let's go and finish it off in Jeremiah chapter 17. Jeremiah chapter 17. Let's get to it. 17, and we'll be reading verse 7. All right. Yes, indeed. Blessed is the man that trusts. What we heard it earlier. Trusting who? The Most High. And whose hope the Most High is. See what I'm saying? You got to trust. You got to trust the Most High. You got to know that He gonna do what He said He gonna do for you. Remember, He said you seeking Him. He hadn't forgot you. But Israel, I will leave you with this, my family, the last one. I will leave you with this, my family. Israel, is you ready to be blessed from the Most High. Let's see what the book got to say about Israel, because I just want our people to see if they really blessed. So we're going to go to Matthew chapter 5, and we're going to read 8 through 12. And this will end this conversation, Israel. I hope you learned something out of this conversation. I hope you got something out of this conversation. All glory, honor, and praise to the Father and the Son, to the Abba and our great Elohim. But let's get it. 8 through 12. Let's get it. Matthew chapter 5, 8 through 12. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth, the land. Let's keep going. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after the righteous, for they shall be filled. So, is you hungry? Is you thirsty after this word? Is you walking this word? You living this word? You doing this word? You telling your people to get right with the Father and the Son, to follow these commandments, do the feast days, let go of man ways. But let's keep going. Blessed are the merciful one, for they shall obtain mercy. Is you showing mercy to your people when they need you, Israel? Is you showing that mercy to them? Or you just got your own picks that you want to show it to? Remember that the Father, he don't care about no respect of a man. That's why he said, love your people. How you expect somebody to show you mercy and you ain't showing no mercy no one? Remember, he showed mercy and grace to us, the greatest two gifts he ever gave to us. But let's keep going. Verse 8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see Yah. Blessed for the pure in heart. Clean up the filthy mind, Israel. Go for all of us, including me. Clean up the filthy mind. Clean it up. Clean it up, Israel. Let's keep going. Verse 9. If you want to see the Father, you clean it up. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Yah. Is you a peacemaker? Or are you trying to be a peacemaker? Because we got a lot of Israel raise hell all day. All day raise hell. But want some mercy. Want to see the Father. Okay? Better keep reading and get some understanding. All right, let's keep going. Verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall reveal you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Is you ready for that? Is you like the son did Yeshua? He didn't say one mumbling word. He let them prosecute him, falsely forsake him, drug his name, drug him through the mud. We gotta do the same thing, Israel. That's why Yeshua was the what example for us. We gotta do the same thing, Israel. Can you do that? Can you put aside your pride when this come to pass? Let me read that one more time, that verse 11. Blessed are ye when man shall reveal you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. Is you ready for that, Israel? Is you preparing your inner man for that? Because we gonna go through this. The book says so. We gonna go through it. But let's get to the final one. Let's get it, Israel. Let's get it. Rejoice and be exceeded glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For great is your reward in heaven that coming down to you. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. See, they even went through that. So you think we ain't got to go through it? The greatest of all went through it. Yeshua went through it. You think we ain't gonna go through it? You better get some understanding, Israel. But with that said, Israel, always love. Nothing but love this way. Peace and blessing. All glory, all praises and honor to the Father and the Son. With that said, Israel, I love all of y'all. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. And let the Father and the Son guide your mind, which is your heart, and guide that tongue, which is wicked as it can be. And guide them feet that is walking. And guide your hands that they stay put in the place they need to be. And guide your inner man so he can keep his outer man at bay. With that said, Israel, all praise, all glory to the Father. Y'all be safe. Hey, let's get it. We close to another Sabbath. Love y'all. Shalom.
Lion of Judah Ministry. Oh God. Turn up. One Piece music. Turn up. 12 tribes. True Hebrew, I got that holy blood up on me. Everybody wanna be Hebrew. Everybody ain't blood bought. Sons and daughter of the slave. Lion in me. 12 tribe, but my king ain't for the full tribe. Blood in it, now I'm begging for the most high. Never stop spreading the word until the casket draw. It's like a lamb there, show me the way. It's like a lion there, guide me the right away. I'm working in vineyard, I'm searching, I'm looking for lost sheep. Who sent you One Piece? I was sent by the Most High. Blue boat, that's the Exodus, that 24. The house of Israel. We all priests, we're supposed to teach. That's what the king said. The covenant still stand. Hebrew 8:8. Exodus, that 24. You know I'm blue. Deuteronomy 28. You know I'm blue. Hebrew 8:8. You know I'm blue. Everybody wanna be Hebrew, but they don't want these curse. Everybody wanna be Hebrew, but they don't want these curse. Blood in it, I'm high, I'm all in. They wanna kill us all, they came with the chosen people. I know we curse, but the Most High still with us. Nothing racist, salvation is for everybody. The king won't rest until his people free. So who his people be? They look like you and me. Fake Jewish man, please get up on my land. Revelation 2:9, yes, it's biblical. Yeah, we love, but Israel ain't going nowhere. You coming with that foolishness, don't approach me. Moses split the Red Sea, we all got baptized. Exodus, that 24, you know I'm blue. Deuteronomy 28, you know I'm blue. Hebrew 8:8, you know I'm blue. Everybody wanna be Hebrew, but they don't want these curse. Everybody wanna be Hebrew, but they don't want these curse. Blood in it, I'm high, I'm all in. Turn up. All praise to the Most High. Turn up. All praise to the Most High. Turn up. All praise to the Most High. Turn up.